Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So today we're actually going to work on crossing. So I'm going to show you 3 variations today that I use that have been really effective for me to use in games. So let's get into the first one.
So let's see the first type of cross used in a match situation. So that's me on the right hand side playing the ball across to my striker, and on this occasion he was just unlucky not to find the back of the net. So let's break down this type of technique. So as you can see, that's me on the ball trying to find this man right here. But the only problem is we've got 4 defenders in the way. So ideally I would like to play the ball along the ground so that it's an easy tap in, but because of the defenders it's not available at this time. So instead we have to wrap the ball around these 4 defenders using a curling technique. And it's going to allow you to cut out these 4 defenders like this and still find your target. So this is how I like to train this type of technique. I just set up a lacrosse goal over here to act as the striker, so that's the target we're aiming for. Then I just set up 4 cones to act as defenders, and then all I'm simply trying to do is bend it around these 4 cones into that goal. So for the first few crosses I just like to hit stationary balls. This just allows me to get the technique down and find a rhythm. So after about 10 to 15 stationary crosses, I then add a little bit of movement to the exercise. So all I'm doing is taking a quick touch out of my feet just to get the ball rolling ever so slightly, and then performing the exact same cross. This just makes it a little bit more challenging, but still we're using the exact same technique, but we just have to focus a little bit more to hit that moving target. Then after maybe 10 to 15 reps of that, I like to get the ball out my feet even further, so I take an even longer touch, and then I'm running onto the ball and then hitting it first time into the goal. So as you can see here, longer touch out my feet causes me to take more steps and get into a stride, and then whipping the ball across using a curling technique. And if you want to learn how to use this curling technique, I'll put a link on the screen right now which is going to take you to a curling shot tutorial, so you can get this technique down before you go out and start practicing crosses. So the second variation of crossing I'm going to show you is the in-swinging cross. So this is something you can try. This is a way you can switch up your crossing and still be very effective with it. So as you can see, I actually dribbled at the defender this time, and instead of taking an end line, I cut the ball back and then played an in-swinging cross to my striker. And this time we actually got a goal out of it. So I get the ball down, start dribbling towards the defender, take a touch backwards to create some space. So this is me on the ball right here, trying to find my striker who's right here. I've got 3 defenders again in the way between me and the man, so I have to perform a curling technique once again to wrap the ball around those defenders to find my striker. And he does very well to guide the ball into the back of the net. So this is the drill that I use to work on an in-swinging curling cross. So it's very similar to the drill we did before. However, this time we're just performing in-swing crosses. So the cones are there again to act as defenders, and we're using the lacrosse net as a striker target. So we're just trying to wrap that ball around those cones and find the lacrosse goal. So again, starting with stationary crosses just so I can get my technique and find a rhythm. And then after maybe 10 to 15 reps, add a little bit of movement to the ball. So I'm just touching it out my feet and then finding the cross. Again, using that curling technique that we worked on in the first drill. Then after 10 to 15 reps of a slightly moving ball, then I like to take a bigger touch out my feet. So this time I'm dribbling towards that first cone, cutting the ball back just like I did in the match situation, and then finding the cross. So we dribble at the defender, take a touch to create some space, and then curl the ball around the cones. So again, 10 to 15 reps. So the third variation of crossing, I use this one a lot, is keeping that ball low. So instead of whipping it through the air, we can actually switch it up and do a low cross. So I'm using the inside of my foot, just like a pass, but I'm just using a bit more backswing and a bit more follow through to find my target. So here's me on the ball. I've recognized that my striker is not making a back post run, he's actually holding off to create space. So I see the gap between the defenders and find his feet with a firm pass along the ground. So this is the drill, dribbling past the cone, then there's 2 cones to act as the defenders, and then the lacrosse goal to act as the striker again, and we're just using the inside of the foot to play a firm pass along the ground. This is a great one if you have a striker who's very good at just tapping the ball in. All he has to really do is redirect that ball and steer it into the net. He doesn't have to add any extra power to it. He really just has to guide it, so this is effective. So as you can see from this angle, just cutting past that cone, accelerating a little bit, and then using the inside of my foot with a little extra backswing, little extra follow through to find that firm pass into the striker's feet.
Smash that like button. If you're brand new to the channel, welcome, and hit that subscribe button for weekly training videos. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.